Welcome back to the Coach IQ podcast. I am your host, Brandon Evans, a fellow training business and facility owner. Today we have Chris Aguado from the Standard DB Academy out of Los Angeles. Chris is a football trainer specializing in defensive back and speed training. He's got a super unique story. Pursued the NFL dream, made it to the CFL rookie minicamp, played in the indoor football league, and then transitioned to training after hanging up the cleats in 2016. Now he's building a business focused on developing complete athletes. Chris, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm actually excited to be here. You know what I mean? We've been talking about this for some time now, so just trying to see, where we take this thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Let's get straight into it. I don't like to waste time. So
yes, sir.
We'll talk about the business and everything, but before we get into the business, I want to talk about you. I want to hear about the playing journey. Walk me through that path from San Fernando Valley kid to CFL minicamp to the indoor league.
To be perfectly honest with you, man, I started playing football in 9th grade. So it was like a long shot. I played park and rec basketball, park and rec flag football, but never really like an organized, per se, like team, right? Mm-hmm. Until I got to high school. And that's when I realized athleticism is not enough to get you by when it comes to certain sports, especially like football, baseball, like certain real skill-specific sports. So I started playing, man, 9th grade. Wasn't good at all. Just kept developing, man. By senior year, I was an all-city guy. Ran track, long jumped, high jump, triple jumped. Ran the 100, 200, played football. And then from there, I transitioned to junior college. Gave myself 2 more years of development. By my sophomore year in college, I had about 11 scholarship offers. I couldn't really take any of the Division I offers I had just because of my GPA. I kind of, the JUCO is like you start over and do it again, but I start over and messed up again, should I say. But I ended up getting out. I went to Lincoln University in Missouri, stayed there for a year, transferred out to another school in Kansas because my coaches got fired. So it was a long journey. But from there, it's like I said, a big long shot, man. And when I look back at it, it's like I wasn't really supposed to go to college. I wasn't supposed to play college football just because it was like I was late to it. I was late to the party. You know what I mean? So I ended up going to Lincoln, played at Friends University as well, and then from there I pursued the Canadian and NFL route. Didn't really get the results that I wanted, but definitely learned a lot throughout the 4 years of pursuing that, right? Met a lot of people, a lot of professionals in the NFL like Terrell Owens, Antonio Cromartie, Matthew Hatchett, Larry Fitzgerald, a lot of guys that kind of helped me through my journey and allowed me to grow as a man, not only a player, but more as a man, right? So once 2015 hit, that's when I finally said, you know what, bro, if all I can get is arena football and workouts with CFL teams, like 4 years of trying to make this happen, and that's all I can get. At this point, it's like this is not meant for me. You know what I mean? I can go out with no regrets because I was able to put forth all the effort. Like I didn't have a job for 4 years, bro. Like I didn't bag groceries. You know how most people you hear like I was bagging groceries. No, I didn't have a job. Like I'm talking about like I had a kid, my daughter, my wife was helping support me. At the time, well, she's my wife now, but at the time, she was my girlfriend, mother of my child. She was just supporting the dream, man. And it's like, I was getting money here and there, little jobs here and there. But for the most part, I gave it my all for 4 years. And, I don't really have any regrets, bro, because I networked, man, so much. I was in great places. Football took me to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, to Florida, to, damn near the whole Midwest. You know what I mean? Up north, I went to Canada. So it was a lot of places I went because of football that I wasn't supposed to go to. But yeah, the journey was amazing, man. It was definitely something that humbled me as a person, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I just love stories like yours because, I mean, it's a misconception now that you have to start training at like 2nd grade as a kid if you want any chance to make it. But I mean, you are a testament to. I mean, you started playing in 9th grade, never played before, and you made it further than a lot of people that probably train or are obsessed with their whole lives.
100%.
Right. So like it's just a testament, and you took advantage of the opportunities you had, right? Like
Yeah.
you got connections that people will never have or never have the opportunity to get because they aren't willing to just put their all into it and do it.
Yeah, man,
Right?
just go out and do it 100%. Just go and do it,
Like
man.
it sounds that simple to say, and obviously you have to have sounds like you had great support with your family and everything. So obviously you have to have some things that are there, but there's always ways to pursue what you're trying to do.
100%.
Like if you really want something, and just enjoy the journey along the way. Like
100%.
take advantage of wherever you get. So I'm assuming all along that journey, you said you met some really cool people. I'm assuming you trained with some NFL guys, CFL guys, arena guys, just while you were doing that. What did you learn from being in that environment with those people that were either at the same level as you or another tier above?
Honestly, the no BS mindset. There've been times to where, like, for example, we're on the field doing a field workout, and 2-hour workout to where we do position specific, and then we come together and we do like one-on-ones, like competition based stuff, right? And honestly, like, I learned in the beginning, I'm like around these pro guys, I'm like happy, I'm always giggling, I'm not really focused. One of the biggest things I learned is when you're in a setting where you're trying to excel or you're trying to get better, you need to be like fully focused, right? Whether it be the weight room, whether it be the field, the track, a PT session, right? Whatever you're doing, like, you need to be dialed in 100%. And that's the biggest thing I learned from really Terrell Owens. That's the biggest thing I learned from T.O. Like, I remember like jogging a lap before, we trained, and so we're, warm up lap or whatever. So I'm like telling this dude, like, bro, I read your book, man. Like, I'm a fan. He turns around, stops. He's like, hey, bro, first of all, we don't like that. Don't do that. Just be in the moment, be in the space. Like, don't be a fan. Let's get better. So one of the biggest things I learned is just, man, be here, be present, be about you. And that can go all the way to school. You know what I mean? Like, you can go to class or you can go to class and be present. Right. So it's just a mindset that I can carry from the field all the way through, every aspect of life.
Yeah. And so you just dropped some big names there that you met.
Yeah.
Like, those aren't just like everyday people for those people who might not know football.
Yeah.
I know you just mentioned T.O., but what's your relationship like with those guys now, and how did it develop?
So as far as T.O. is actually still local. After the whole, training bit, we kind of like touch base a little bit here and there. It was kind of like the mentorship was happening more on the field, right? Like, we had a group chat where all of us that were training, we would all chop it up and talk. But after that, everybody went their own ways. The group chat obviously ain't there no more. But I mean, we all still social media. The mentorship didn't really go further than that, I would say. But I mean, regardless, that's 5 years of value that I got from those guys, right? I would say the only one that I talk to like really faithfully to this day right now is Antonio Cromartie. And he's over in Houston, Texas right now. So Crow's doing a great job with my guy Jaleel. They're training DBs at a facility called All In, Ollin, in Houston, Texas. I actually got to take a trip up there to visit them, but they're doing great things up there, bro. Like, they've collaborated, and now they're focusing on big group DB training. So they have like anywhere from 15 to 20 kids at a time. And literally they're dropping gems. And it reminds me of like what Crow and T.O. were doing when I was coming out. Like, they were basically just dropping free gems. And you take it if you want, and if you don't, then you know what I mean? But yeah, man, to answer that question, I mean, it's not like we have like an everyday relationship to where we're at each other's houses and stuff like that, but definitely still here for each other if we need to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, those are, again, if people don't know football, like, those are some of the best players to play football.
100%.
Like, I'm a basketball guy, and I know that.
100%.
Just from growing up watching.
Yeah.
So those are just, I mean, awesome people to learn from, even if you get a day with those type of guys.
100%.
So super interesting to hear. When you decided, so you said it was 2015 when you decided to, call it. What was that moment like? What did that feel like? Did you know where you were going? Did you know you were going to get into training?
Honestly, how most people would tell you, like, dang, I didn't really, I was sad. Like, honestly, I wasn't really sad. I was kind of over the journey, because I'm like, dude, 4 years, and all my agent got me was like an arena team, a couple workouts. Like, But
Yeah.
then it's like for so long I sat there and I'm like, dude, I'm kind of salty at like the people I see in the league and the NFL, and I'm like, dude, I trained with you, bro. I'm like, I'm better than you. Like, what are we talking about right now? You know? But at the end of the day, man, it's God's planning, bro. It's I can't sit here and say nothing. God had his plan from day one, and it wasn't in my plan to be. That wasn't in my script, should I say, to make it
Hmm.
to the pros. So I mean, I can't really sit here and say I regret anything, but the biggest thing that I do enjoy about the process and the journey is being able to grow as a man, being able to grow as a father. You know what I mean? I used the sport and growing as a football player to grow as a man. And when I came out 4 years later, it was like, dude, okay, I'm grown as a man mentally in the way I think, but I still need to figure out what I want to do. And that was the hardest transition because I went to college and was like, hey, I just want to go pro. I could care less about school. Just took the,
Yeah.
your basic communications courses and, finished out that way. And then I'm like, let me go train for the league. Like, not realizing that, look, dude, you came from a small school. Chill out. You weren't an All American at that small school, so chill out. You know what I mean? I didn't really have the guidance of people telling me like, bro, just humble yourself a little bit more. You know what I mean? Understand what Plan B is and Plan C is. But I was stuck on that. Man, there's no Plan B, no Plan C, because I need Plan A. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it kind of, I shot myself in the foot. You know what I mean? Like, when I was done playing 2015, it was like, dude, I'm gonna start a nonprofit because I want to help kids that were like me, single home, single parent home, um, low income family. Um, you know the stories, bro. I don't have to sit here and continue. We all got our stories, but at the end of the day, when I came out, it was like, hey, how do I help the younger me? And so I started a nonprofit called No Handouts, which actually I'm wearing NHL right now. No
Hmm.
Handouts acronym. We started it in 2015, and it was just like, hey man, let me train some kids and see if they got good grades. So the biggest thing was, let me train you, and I'll do that for free as long as you have X, Y, Z as far as GPA goes. That
Yeah.
started off. I did that for 2 years, man. And then it transitioned to a 7-on-7 team. Had like about I had a tryout year one. Had about 75 kids at a workout that just came out to a tryout. It was dope, man. You can find it on YouTube too. It's on No Handouts TV. It had a workout. It was dope. It was a 2-day workout. We had sponsors come out, sponsored shirts. We had vendors come out. It was super dope, bro. And that's when I realized, like, man, I think this training thing is kind of the route. So I did that. I did football specific training for 3 years. And then I was like, hey, bro, I kind of like this. So I took a step back and I'm like, let me go back to school and actually go back and take some anatomy classes, see what biomechanics is talking about. I want to study movement. I want to see, how the body functions. And then from there, I started going back and just picking people's brains, going back to school, taking courses. And then from there, it just transitioned from only football to now it's sports performance. Now I'm trying to help
Yeah.
people get faster, help you get stronger, right? And then I've also collaborated with physical therapists in the past to where now it's like, hey, if I can't help you, I got somebody that can help you. You know what I mean? So now it's just building, I'd say like a platform or a place for kids to be, for athletes to be, to fully excel as an athlete.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's one of the most powerful things that you went through your journey. We already talked about that, and you immediately went back to, I want to take everything I learned and impact as many of these kids as I can in my area. Right? I think that's, as trainers, coaches, whatever. I mean, I think that's why, whether it's football or basketball or development or soccer, like I think that's why the majority of us get into it. I
All
mean,
right.
some, there's every now and then people do it for money, but
100%.
but
Yeah.
I think when that is the reasoning and catalyst behind it, I mean, one, you can't be stopped. Two, you're going to succeed with what you're doing, and you're going to impact a lot of lives. So, I mean, like I said, I just love hearing stories like that
Yeah.
you want to just shed that back to the kids. Like one of my friends, mentors, whatever you want to call him, he always tells the kids like your success means nothing if you don't give it back.
Hmm.
So like I have a couple kids that are going to play D1, and like whenever he sees them, he like that's what he always leaves. Whenever he says bye or whatever, he's like that's what he always leaves them with. And like I just think it's the coolest thing.
That's dope.
So Yeah,
Dope.
it's true though. It's really true. So
No, that honestly, 100%. That is, I'll say, man. Ever since when I left my junior college and went to Missouri, like every time I came back home, I had like a flag football team that I was helping out with. Right, I'll go
yeah,
to the local park and rec and get a team that I would try to help out. You know what I mean? Like, so definitely, you always got to pay. You got to pay it back, for sure.
in some way, whether
For
you do it
sure.
on a bigger scale like you're doing, or whether you just come home and help out or volunteer your time or whatever.
100%. 100%.
So let's talk about what you have going on right now. It's called the Standard DB Academy.
Yes, sir.
From what I see, you're in LA. You train across multiple different locations.
Hmm.
Walk me through what you have going on right now.
So right now, I'm fully in like the consulting space when it comes to training. And what
Okay.
that looks like, it can look like one of two ways, the way I see it, right? It can look like consulting specifically with the athlete and their family, or a facility, school, and their team. So in the last 3 years since my facility closed, because I had a gym in Glendale, which is around the LA County. I'm not sure if you're familiar, but I had it for 7 years with a couple partners, and we did some great things up there. But we closed in 2023. Ever since then, I've been kind of just trying to find myself, because I've been working as a a facility, as a unit of people, right? It hasn't just been about
Right.
Chris; it's been about the brand that we're building. So the last 2.5, 3 years, I've just been focusing on Chris, the brand. Like, who am I, right? What value do I have to bring to, I'll say, like, my market, right? So I started working at Sports Academy. The first year they brought me in for combine prep. So NFL combine prep, they brought me in to do the DBs. So I had a guy who's actually with the Rams right now, Alex Johnson. He came out of UCLA, worked with him. It was dope. Um, he actually tested very well, got picked up by the Giants. He's currently now with the Rams. And that has actually led me to consulting with high schools, coming in and saying, hey, we need a speed guy for you to, come in 2 days a week. Cool. I'm also consulting with a couple other high schools and doing their strength programs. So they bring me in for like 2 hours. I help out with football or soccer, whatever it may be, right? So a lot more of those, should I say, consulting buckets. So since the gym closed, has been more focused on who is Chris and what is he trying to do. And honestly, just the training is great and I love it. But I've started to realize that it's so much training nowadays, to where I don't really think that the kids or the families are taking it serious. Like, they're just doing it just cause.
Yeah.
They're not doing it because there's a particular reason. Like, going back to like my journey, right? Like, bro, no lie, I was garbage. Like, I was an athlete. No, don't get me wrong. I was hella athletic. I could run, I can jump, all of that, right? But when
Yeah.
it came to football, bro, I was garbage, bro. Like, so when I finally got better, it was like, damn, like, you couldn't tell me anything. Like, I was so
Yeah.
cocky and arrogant, bro. It was bad. It was bad. But just to the point I'm trying to make is, like, we have to be present. Again, going back to what T.O. and them told me, right? We got to be present in what we're doing. So now it's like, okay, do I continue to just train kids in big groups, groups of 10, 12, or do I scale it back and say, hey, let me train smaller groups of 1 to 2, maybe even 3, and get higher quality, right, with these athletes, and really weed out the kids that aren't really serious with it, right? Recently, one of my mentors told me, he was like, look, bro, if you really want to get rid of those kids that are BSing, charge them a premium. Charge them like 250, so shit, they don't come back. And it sounds effed up, but at the end of the day, not every kid really wants to do this, bro. Not every kid, and even a lot of these college kids. I got kids in college I got one kid that went to, I don't want to say his name per se, but he went to a
Yeah.
smaller school, and great kid, great family, baller. Like, his football IQ is crazy, bro. But he went to college, came back after a year, and it's like, you're a $160 still. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, you have meals, you got 3 meals a day. You know what I mean? Like, you should be, bro, you should be in the weight room every second, every hour, trying to get bigger, right? But you come back home, train, you're out of shape. It's like, do these kids really want it? Or do they kind of just want it because social media? So what I'm trying to focus on now is just more of like the athlete consultant. right? The consulting of like, okay, what does this journey look like? I got a kid right now in high school he came in high school, played freshman, frost soft. He didn't even play JV, played frost soft. Then he came to me and said, hey, coach, like, what do I have to do to play varsity next year? Like, I want to play varsity. I said, all right, bro, this is what we have to do. I gave him like a routine to do at home on his own. We started training in the weight room, speed, DB, everything, right? I stopped. He did spring ball, came back 3 months later. He was huge. Like, I'm talking shoulders, bro. Everything was just big. And I'm like, bro, what did you do? He was like, I did your routine you had me do, right? Fast forward to his sophomore year, to the season, he started on varsity. So, mind you, this kid was on freshman, bro. He was a freshman on the Frost Soft team, not even really starting on Frost Soft. Right? The kid literally asked his questions. I met this kid at least at the bare minimum twice a week. And if we weren't meeting twice a week, we were talking on the phone. He's sending me film on the Coach IQ app. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're breaking down. You feel me? We're breaking down film, doing everything, bro, doing everything right for this kid to come sophomore year, started 11 games as a sophomore. You know what I'm saying? Right before he tore his ACL. So, I mean, it was unfortunate that he tore his ACL, but just what I'm trying to, speak on is just the body of work that he put in for 9 months.
Yes.
Right? That body of work that he put in for 9 months was insane. And there's no coincidence as to why this kid went from Frost Soft, fighting for time, varsity, starting. Like, there's no coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Like, the kid just put his head down and worked.
And that's something that I always tell people, situations like that, that's something you're going to take with you forever.
Right.
Like, whether you go on to play football, college, whatever, if you can really lock in and do what you need to do to actually get better at football or anything in general for a period of time, you've now proven to yourself you can do that. You know how to improve at something. And whatever you go on to do after sports, because sports are always going to be done at some point.
Right.
The ball's going to stop bouncing at some point, and now you know how to live on the rest of your life with whatever
100%.
it is that you do. But no, to your point earlier, weeding people out, like, it sounds bad in theory, but like, I just changed my gym to this, to 6 month minimum commitments, 12 months, 6 or 12 months is it. And like, on my sign up form, it says in big, like, all caps, do not fill this out if you are not committed or are just not going to utilize it. Like, we get on calls with parents now, and I will say it just like we are right now. I'll say it face to face. Do not pay me $1 if you are not going to utilize what we have, or you're not committed. Like that's just not who me or my coaches want to work with. And if there's like you said, there's plenty of trainers that if you want to go get like a casual workout in, cool, fine, but it's just not who I prefer to work with, and not who you prefer to work with either.
100%.
So are you doing anything as far as like regular training goes, or is it just that like, do you have any like weekly groups or anything, or is it just the consulting type?
No, so I have groups. So I have
okay.
I just scaled back from groups that I had groups that were like 4 to 8 people. Now I scaled back to like semi-private, just 1 to 2. Started realizing a lot of the kids on the track were kind of they were straining groins and hamstrings, and so I'm like, all right, we got to scale back and actually get back in the weight room, because I know you guys aren't lifting how you're supposed to lift. You're not taking care of your body. So, I just, I'm like, the groups we can leave for the DB training, the groups we can leave for the hill sprints and the track running, right? But when it comes to like the lifting, when it comes to the like watching film, breaking down film, like all that stuff needs to be in a smaller setting, just because people, when they get into big groups, man, it just tends to get like too much like a party, man. And honestly, it's like, unless we're doing field work where it's kind of like, not a party, but it's more energy. It's outside, right? It's receivers, it's DBs, it's quarterbacks. It's just a lot more going on, right? But when I'm talking about self-development, like, I gotta look at self and make sure that, I'm doing everything I need to do. But I have 2 like two track groups. Basically, the way I'm doing it now is I don't really post too much. Like, hey, come train with me. I have a group starting next week. I don't do that no more. I've stopped doing that a year ago. Very sporadically. I'll post like a flyer, like saying, hey, we got a seminar this week, or hey, we're hosting this at this place. Very sporadic here and there. Or if like I'm consulting with a space that, like right now I'm working on a football academy project with the facility that I'm working with, and actually it's a PT spot. So they're trying to build out more of like the football, the basketball space, and so one of my first initiatives since I got here has been I want to build out a football academy. And what that looks like is like, when you think about an academy, you think about all inclusive, right? From PT to position specific to strength to speed, right? All of it, film breakdowns. So we're starting that up. We started that in January, but we're actually starting this school academy portion in August. So right now it's just trying to filter kids into that. But as far as like Chris goes, man, I very rarely post, man, like as far as like new training. I'm looking for new clients. I very rarely do that. I have my group chats with my same clients that I've been training for the last however long. And if it's not them, it's people that refer people, word of mouth stuff. I've slowly but surely in the last 2 years or a year and a half start cutting people off like from the training because it's too much of, hey man, I train with Coach Chris and the kid's garbage. Like not to say it like that, but it's this type of realm that we're in, bro, is all resume based. You know what I mean? And it's just like if you got a kid out there, sorry, that probably went to one of your sessions and took a drill and then said he trains with you. Nah, man. No, you're not in the group chat, bro. You're not in the group chat, bro.
So I know you mentioned you use the Coach IQ app to break down film.
Yeah.
I know your website is still up with it. Do you get people through that, or are you still getting inquiries? Do you use the website? Like, how do you use Coach IQ? Is it just the film?
So honestly, man, to be as transparent as I can be, man, I still have the site. I still have the athlete portal attached to it. The film breakdowns I didn't do as much this year, but I'm starting back up this next year because I'm hanging up my coaching high school football. So I'm just hanging that one up. So I'll have a little bit more time during the season. So now I'm going to get back to my film breakdowns. I actually want to use Coach IQ a little bit more for like, hip mobility, like just like giving the kids added value, for example, right? Like, let me give you an example here. Like, let's say if a kid pays a premium monthly subscription of like $1,000, right? That can come with 2 sessions a week. And then one of these calls weekly. So that's basically 3 sessions a week, right? One of them, the call is just to, hey, what does the week look like? What's our goal? What are our goals for the week? When do I see you? Right? What is the film day? Et cetera, et cetera. I want to have that, but then I also want to add value to where the kids can go into the app and now see like, okay, ankle mobility, hip mobility, right? Like they can actually do things and have different warm-ups, how to MFR correctly, right? How to take care of your body correctly, just certain things like that. Because there's a lot of the times the kids are asking me questions like, hey, coach, what should I do for this? Or, hey, coach, my hamstring is bugging. So I'm actually looking to record everything. I still got to build it out though, right? So I want to build it out, then record it, and then push it into the app. But I don't use the app as much as I should though. And then as far as referrals through the website, honestly, I get a lot of traction on the website. I'm pretty not as much as Russ would like, but you know what I mean? But I get some good traction to the site, man. People love the site, by the way. They're always like, dude, your website's amazing. I'm like, cool. I got a team that made it, man. They're great. Yeah. You should check them out.
That online is something I'm diving into a lot more. It's one of those things that like it takes some work up front, to film it, plan it, make sure it's all good. But once you do it, it's lasting forever.
100%.
And the kids have, like you said, it just adds that much more value instead of, oh, you just come in these 2 times a week. Right. Like it adds more value. It saves you time. Like if a kid has ankle problems or whatever, like cool, you can send them a program in the app, like boom, follow this.
I got you.
And it's that simple. Like it's that simple. So that's something I'm diving into a lot more. I've made a lot in the past, but I'm trying to implement a lot more of it. Making it required. I'm not going to do anything if they don't do it. Like it, but just making an emphasis on it.
No, for sure.
another thing too, like for those kids that do want to work out, we want to be able to teach them how to work out at home, like on their own, and be able to watch film at home on their own. Obviously, like we would be able to guide them and stuff too, but because that's not like I was noticing with my guys at the gym, I'm like we would complain like, oh, these kids don't work out at home. We don't know how to like get them to watch film or anything, but like we didn't never do it with them. Like, yeah, I guess
You got to
people don't
teach
do
them
that
that.
much.
Yeah, you got to
like,
teach them that.
like, how are we gonna complain about it when we don't show it, right? Like if somebody tells me watch film, it's just like, and I'm a kid, I'm like, okay. Like, am I just gonna pull up like Kyrie highlights or something?
Yeah,
Like,
no, you
what am I
you can
doing?
definitely like I've seen some of the people on Coach IQ like definitely like use the app really dope. Like
Yeah.
there's one DB coach, Team Island, on social media. He uses it very very well. And I'm like, yeah, this is. Yeah, I take some notes from them. Those are the ones I gotta take notes from. I'm like, all right, man, you guys are doing it,
Yeah.
man. So it's dope,
It's a
man.
lot you can do in there, like even more than I even realized.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I have a gym too. Like you can create whole lessons, and the kids can upload quizzes, questions, and stuff. I was going through it the other day. I'm like, all right, well, I didn't know
Yeah,
this was
no.
in here. Let me get to it.
It's dope. Yeah, we definitely got to get to it, bro. Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I logged in
Yeah,
the other day. It's a lot of new things on there. I'm like, yeah.
It is.
And it's funny because I remember meeting Russ, man, years ago when he first started the company, man. I met him online, drove with my brother and my boy when we started the No Handouts company. We drove to Santa Monica, bro, to a random coffee shop, sat there, and he explained to us what the vision was. To see this thing where it's at now, man, bro, I'm a fan, bro. I am a fan.
Yeah, I personally, I've been with him for about 3 years. I started my business from nothing, and I mean, we got a gym now. Within a year and a half, I was able to open up my own gym, and I'm at the point now where I was able to buy back a lot of my time by hiring people. So that's why I'm doing this podcast now.
That's dope, bro.
I like the team, and we become close, and I was like, hey, how can I be involved?
100%. No, that's dope, man. That's dope. I'm definitely trying to get to that point, man, where I can buy back some time. And, we're actually building that here at this spot, man. It's actually called EPC, Elite Performance Clinic. It's in Sherman Oaks, California. It's been dope, man. We're just building out the team and trying to see where this thing goes, man. It's literally like the first couple months with this team. And so, like you just said, man, the team is dope. And when the team is dope and it's organic, man, it just aligns, bro. Things just easily just grow organically, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
It's just felt like all my staff are like my guys. Like everybody's joined on because they were friends with somebody else. Like, and so they just fit in. And that was going to be, I got a couple more questions, but that was going to be one of my last ones is what's next for you? Are you just focusing specifically on building that, or is there anything else you're trying to get into?
Honestly, the biggest thing for me right now is I'm trying to really enter the space of like consulting, like at a higher level, right? What that looks like for Chris is, for example, I had a friend of mine who was a head coach at UCLA. He recently got released last year, but I was working on something with him to where, because nowadays with the NIL space, these schools have collectives, so meaning boosters per se, but they call them collectives, to where now they can, reach from the collective account to pay for somebody to then be able to do a job for them. So nowadays there's position coaches everywhere, quarterback, receivers, DBs, and they train kids. So a lot of these schools with a high collective amount of money, what they're doing is they're going out and they're hiring somebody and saying, here, I'm going to hit you with this stipend for us to have conversations once a month, once a week. Who do you got on your trail? What quarterbacks do you have? What receivers do you have, right? So that's honestly the next step in phase in my career, like when it comes to the consulting space. Like I enjoy what I do as far as like helping the athletes, helping the families, and helping the facilities. I enjoy that. But as I grow, I actually would love to be attached to a team, right? So, for example, let's say, the LA Rams call me, and just come on and be like a consultant, an analyst, bro. Really what it comes down to, right? Or if USC calls me and they're like, hey, you sent us 3, 4, 5 athletes, 5-star dudes the last couple years. Can you come in and be an analyst for us? I had a friend of mine who was a quarterback consultant for USC for like 5 years. Another friend of mine right now, he's a consultant for Alabama, Ole Miss, Oregon, and I believe Arkansas. So basically, what those things look like is each one of them schools have him on payroll, right? Or stipend, however you want to put it. And really the job is, hey, you keep training your guys, doing what you're doing, but every once in a while we'll chop it up about who you have, who do you think is a good fit for our team. So it's kind of like a job being done while I'm training. I'm evaluating talent, and I'm starting to really enjoy that a lot more because I really feel like I have an eye for talent. Like I have an eye to see, okay, that kid right there he's gonna progress to this, right? Or that kid has this. So that's really the next step in my journey is I'm really trying to grow as a consultant, as an analyst, a person that can add value in the scouting world.
Yeah, I think that's such a unique thing that any coach, whether they have an academy and are able to buy back their time and they can go into the consulting space. So you have some connections in the consulting space. You've been doing it at maybe a smaller scale than you're trying to get to. What would you tell somebody that wants to even get into it and has no idea what to do? Because I think this is such an interesting topic.
I would say get with somebody that can mentor you through the process because it is very, very difficult to learn on your own. Because I was doing it for like the first year on my own, and then I had reached out to my mentor who trained me, and now he's actually in the business consulting space. And so I had to call him, had a long talk with him, and really just he was giving me a little bit of, what to do's, what not to do's. But at the end of the day, he just told me the same thing I'm about to say is just do it. At the end of the day, is just do it. You have to use your network to just do. Because at the end of the day, consulting is giving advice, bro. That's all it really is. You know what I mean? So when I say use your network is what value are you bringing, right, in the consulting space, right? What advice are you trying to give, right? And then from there, go straight to your network and see who needs that advice. I mean, honestly, that's really how I started. I just started consulting with my clients. And then from there, they just started telling people. And then from there, facilities started calling me. 3 schools called me, you know what I mean, to do their strength program. So I'm like, shit, this is cool. But definitely want to take it to another level. And I'm still learning. I'm still growing as a man, as a person, as a business owner. And definitely like I said, the best advice I can give to anybody trying to do anything is just do. Like literally just doing like what we talked about earlier. When you do, be present. I don't just do and be not present. Do, but be present.
Yes, 100%. And to add on to that, this would be the last point, and then we'll wrap up here. But to add on to that, if a coach is considering getting into the consulting space, you didn't do that. You haven't done that until you did everything you've already done.
Right.
Right. Like you have that resume of athletes running your groups, running your programs, your journey yourself. So if you're going to consult, you got to have some type of experience behind you.
100%.
Like it can't just, because I know consulting is something that's becoming a little bit more popular, and especially with social media and everything, but you got to have some experience behind you. You got to have proof that like you know what you're consulting on. Like it's
proof
as
concept.
funny as it sounds. Like as funny as it sounds. But just wanted to tack that on there. So
definitely,
Chris, thank you for coming on. It was great to talk about your playing journey, the transition to training, your consulting focus. We're excited to keep up with your journey on that. There's a lot here for anybody of any sport or just a regular listener. Where can people find you?
My Instagram at Chris Aguado _ and is ChrisAgu.
Awesome. Well, everybody go follow Chris. As always, we'll put the links on the screen in the description as well. And if you're in the LA area and you're very serious and you're not going to waste this time, reach out to him. Thank you guys for listening. Chris, it was awesome to have you on. Absolutely. You as well. All right, now.